The legendary killer, Hyuk, was living a happy life in luxury with his wife upon retirement after making a hefty sum of cash following successful investments. But one day, he's given the task of taking care of a high schooler named Yoonji for a few days as his wife and Yoonji's mother go away on vacation. However, what he thought would be a relatively simple job of taking care of the girl turns for the worse when she's kidnapped. And that's when Hyuk's rage erupts as he pursues to save Yoonji and end the evil of the perpetrators once and for all. Hello everyone and welcome back to another K-movie review by EonTalk. I'm your host Ian, and today we'll be going over the new action-packed K-film, The Killer. But before getting into the review, I'd just like to say that I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions of the movie from here on out. Therefore, there may be minor spoilers or parts about the movie that you may not want to hear before watching yourself. I'm going to keep spoilers to a minimum, but please be aware of this. The Killer is the action star Chang-hyuk's latest work following The Swordsman in 2020 and Tomb of the River in 2021. He's been working his butt off, starring in an all-out action flick once every year in the past 3 years. And there's none like him when it comes to this genre. Starring alongside with Chang-hyuk in The Killer was another incredible action star, Bruce Khan, as well as Lee So-young. The film was directed by Choi Jae-un, who actually also directed the other Chang-hyuk movie mentioned earlier, The Swordsman. And maybe because this was the director and main actor's second time working on a production together, but I felt like this one was a lot better. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying The Swordsman was bad, but I personally thought there was just something more special about this one. Both films weren't extremely highly produced films with an extreme budget, but you know what you're getting yourself into when you're watching a Chang-hyuk film, and this one delivered. The movie is set to release on July 13th in Korea, and a limited release in the US as well on the same date. Shaw Entertainment Group will be distributing the film in the States, and this is great news as we see more and more Korean movies being introduced in the US. And speaking of Shaw Entertainment Group, they were kind enough to give me the opportunity to screen this movie prior to the release, which is how I'm able to review this film before the official release date. So shout out to Shaw Entertainment Group for making this possible, and they're also offering a signed poster of The Killer to one lucky EonTalk viewer in the US. So if you would like to have a chance at winning an autographed movie poster of The Killer, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment of your expectation of the film. I'll choose one lucky fan that has completed those 3 tasks at random. Please remember, you must be a US resident for shipping. Okay, getting back to the review, let's now take a look at what I found to be the good parts about the film. When you watch a movie starring Chang-hyuk, you have a conception of what to expect with Chang-hyuk movies, and I'll say this delivered. Chang-hyuk was a total badass in this, and the film had great action. It started off with full-out action, followed by great action scenes, followed by even more great action sequences. And inevitably, with great action sequences, the movie also had a pretty high level of blood and gore. It wasn't extreme, but it was there. The movie kind of reminded me of the films Young Adult Matters for its similarity in the background of runaway students, Hot-Blooded in the noir department, No Mercy in the sense that a guardian goes after a kidnapped kid, and Tomb of the River in the action area, plus that both movies starred Chang-hyuk as the main lead. And all of these movies mentioned have a similar tone and vibe to it as well. The film also had great cameo appearances such as with Son Yeon-ju, as well as Chang-hyuk's IRL good friend Cha Tae-yeon. Furthermore, although I said that the film starts off with full-out action, it also didn't forget to catch the audience up with the story. The movie did a good job setting the background, and before the movie officially began with the numerous action sequences, we as the audience were able to get a brief understanding of the relationship between the characters. Moreover, I enjoyed how The Killer had some quirky parts to it. For example, Chang-hyuk's mannerism. His tone and the aura he put out was very serious and heavy, but there also were some quirkiness that came from that ambiance that made it playful and, to the contrary, light. There were little bits and pieces of chuckle moments scattered throughout, which weren't LOL funny, but sprinkles of humorous parts here and there. Okay, before we get into the negatives of the film, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to ExpressVPN. If you're looking to access more K-movies, K-dramas, and just K-content in general, but don't know where to find them, I highly suggest using ExpressVPN and accessing more Korean content. By using ExpressVPN, you can bypass your restrictions. This means that you can be from anywhere around the world and access the Korean servers, like the Korean Netflix. If you would like to access more Korean content, Be sure to sign up for ExpressVPN using my link in the descriptions or expressvpn.com/EonTalk and get 49% off an annual plan plus 3 extra months for free. Better yet, if you sign up and don't like the service, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, meaning you can cancel anytime within the first 30 days. Okay, let's now take a look at what I found to be the bad parts about The Killer. The movie definitely has its action parts, which was good when it was on, but there also were some slower parts. This slower part wasn't bad per se, but I did feel like it dragged a little too long. The film also didn't have the best CGI. Actually, it was pretty bad in certain scenes. However, considering that this wasn't a major blockbuster with hundreds of millions for its budget, it was understandable. We'll say though that the special effects were pretty good, especially for the full-out action parts. And lastly, this is something that a lot of films in this genre are guilty of, but fallacies and continuity errors were present. From a story standpoint, it didn't really make sense how Chang-Hyuk's character goes through all of what he goes through for a girl he just met. Granted, it reminds him of what we can presume to be his daughter, but still, to open up to someone that was a stranger just a day or two ago and shoot and kill tens of other people to save her was very unrealistic, in my opinion. That, and also how a full-blown shootout with numerous gunshots took place, yet no one on the first floor heard or reacted to it. But then again, you don't watch this type of movie because it's realistic, but you do so for the action, which it had plenty of. The Killer was one of those films you watch for the action, and action did it have. There were numerous action scenes that were very well performed, and if that's what you're looking for, I can surely say that you'll enjoy this. Definitely a good watch to kill time. I'll give The Killer a ticket price value of $11. And that concludes today's review on The Killer. Thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I hope this review has given you some insight into the film. If you've seen or are planning to watch the movie, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the film, so please leave a comment or join the EonTalk Telegram group and we can discuss over there. Remember, if you're a fan that resides in the US, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment your thoughts of this film for a chance to win an autographed movie poster of The Killer. Once again, thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one.